Knickers in a twist, ladies and gents. Good morning. It's Friday, the 21st of August. It's Proclamation News and Gatherance. Pingy. Good morning. Flux with the daily news. Flux with the news. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Thank you all for actually coming together on YouTube, Castbox, and Big O TV. Thank you so much. I'm Knickers in a twist as a start off this morning. My goodness gracious. Um, Speaking out of character this morning, emphasising my abilitations. Let's have a bit of humour. Uh, Here we go, ladies. Thanks for coming through the news and gatherance. Here we go. Taylor Swift. She's coming in swiftly this morning. Taylor Swift. Cash give help. Student takes up degree. A cash gift helps student take up degree. Singer Taylor Swift has donated £23,000 to a London-based student struggling to raise the funds to take up maths course at the University of Warwick. I wish I had someone that could throw some funds. I mean, that'd be a bit episode. Nice, wouldn't it? Let's have some fun, please. Victoria, Mario's online fundraising page details how she has lived in the UK for 4 years after moving from Portugal. But she's not eligible for maintenance loans or grants. Victoria said, I was worrying too much about the money, what I have to do, and if I have to look for a job. She actually made my dream come true. American singer whose 16 top 10 British charts hits include aptly titled Wildest Dreams, wrote a message to Victoria's fundraising page as she confirmed her donation. At the stage, Victoria collected nearly half of her £40,000 fundraising target. And Swift wrote, Victoria, I came across your story online and I'm so inspired by your drive and dedication to turning your dreams into reality. I want to gift you the rest of your goal amount. Good luck with everything you do, love, Taylor. Victoria said her family could not afford to support her and needed funds to help pay for her accommodation, a laptop, textbooks and general living costs. She shared the approach from Swift had come out of the blue. The 18-year-old had written on her page, though the story is not unique. My dream of becoming a mathematician is not the only chance at social mobility for the family and I, but to inspire people who have been in a similar position to aspire the best versions of themselves. She added that she was always been studious and unable to speak English when she moved to the UK in 2016. Despite that disadvantages, she left school with two A levels and an A level in and an A in her A levels. Sorry about that, I got a bit tongue tied. That's magnificent, isn't it? Taylor Swift helping the young student out. When coming to UK, Victoria had to make a difficult decision to leave Portugal, where her mother still lives. Moving away from her, was a challenge, but it was a sacrifice worth being made in my family's eyes, she added. She estimated she would need £24,000 for accommodation, £3,000 for equipment, and £13,000 for general living costs, including food, transport, gas, and electricity. Swift has previously made a number of impromptu donations to fans whose stories she has read about online, including New York photographer has asked her financial support via Tumblr. I tell you what, that girl is really landing on her feet because I'm in university. Have I got the support of that? Absolutely not. Thank you, Wolfin. Thank you. One of my friends, ladies and gentlemen, you listening on Castbox and YouTube, one of my friends from Germany listening. Great friend we made this morning. France cases spike to 4,700 a day in France. France reported a sharp rise in the number of coronavirus cases, 4,771 up 1,000 on Wednesday figure. It's first time more than 4,000 daily cases have been since in May. Meanwhile, Spain, Germany, and Italy have also recorded their highest numbers of cases since late April or May. We're going to get a second wave through the winter months. Who knows? Meanwhile, Spain, Germany, Italy have also recorded highest numbers of cases since April and May. Many of the new Spanish cases are reported among the young, while German cases are said to be driven by a lack of social distancing and travellers returning from abroad. UK was, which has Europe's highest coronavirus death toll, registered a further 1,182 cases on Thursday. While cases rising in France, the number of confirmed cases have been accelerating since mid-August. France has increased its testing capacity and carried out 664,000 tests over the past week. The health minister said, but the rate of positive cases has also been increasing. It stood at 3.3% for the next week between 11th to 17th of August, up to 2.1% previously and more than double the 1.5% rate seen at the end of July. Officials say the virus is now mostly circulating in major cities among the young, who typically do not have serious symptoms, and this is why the number of people being treated in hospital has not changed much. Nevertheless, three more cities, Saint Anne, Nice, and Toulouse, have made wearing a mask mandatory in their city centres. Mask wearing is already required in busy areas on the capital, Paris. Education Minister Jean-Michel Blanquer has ruled out a postponement of the new school year, which begins on 1st September. Although he conceded there would be local expectations, pupils aged 11 and above will be required to wear masks when they are moving around schools, in confined spaces and in classrooms, when they are face to face and separated by less than a metre, 3 foot. What's the picture in Spain? Spain reported 3,349 new cases on Thursday, while the Health Minister Emergencies Coordinator Fernando Simon, saying that no one in the country should be in any doubt. Things are not going well. Although the epidemic is not out of control at the national level, it's out of control in a certain concrete ways, he added, quoted by El Paris newspaper. If cases continue to rise, there would be many hospitalizations, many people in intensive care, and many deaths, he said. The country has been 122 deaths over the past week, more than 10 times the level seen a month ago. The average age of those confirmed to have the virus was now 39 men and 37 women, far lower than at the height of the epidemic in the country, when the average age of those infected was over 60. Mr. Simon appealed to social media influencers for helping in containing the epidemic, asking them to emphasise for the followers that the young people could end up infecting older members of their families. Yes, you're probably right, actually. You are probably right. I understand that the people want to go partying, but there are ways doing that, he said. Those influencers of the population must raise awareness about what needs to be done. I just want to interact with my friend to get her entwined into my YouTube and my class box. My friend from Germany, Alexandra, just said, which I believe she's quite correct. I'm quite valuable to listen to anyone's opinions. She just said, USA is lying about their COVID victims to make it worse than it is over here. I believe so as well. I believe so. I mean, I've seen figures of their people dying of pneumonia, like previous to coronavirus over the years. It's absolutely thousands. So, yeah, it's horrific. They are OTT with a lot of things, as we know. They are OTT with a lot of things, but how could they? I don't know how they can calculate America. America's like 4 times as big, well, possibly 10 times bigger than UK. But how can they calculate such a big area? I don't think they could. What about Germany? The country reported 1,707 new cases, with much of the rise blamed on returning holidaymakers, as well as parties and family gatherings. The Robert Koch Institute said the highest rates of infection were among those returning from Kosovo, Turkey, and Croatia. In the most populous state of North Rhine Westphalia, more than a third of returns who tested positive were coming from Moscow, and nearly 20% are coming from Turkey. However, from returning from Spain and Greece made up just 2.5 or 0.5 of the positive cases in the state. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my friend was just Alexander just notified me. Someone was working in the ER a month ago, and a man died from a motorcycle incident, and they claimed it COVID-19. That's what I know. That's what and that's what we're talking about. I mean, these youngsters getting stacked, killing themselves, getting shot and stuff, but they're going to call that a COVID-19 incident. It's ludicrous. That's what it seems like, doesn't it, Alexander? Going by your quotation, I've seen irregular posts in the media also, and you think, yeah, he's had a car crash. He's just come out this front window screen, squashed by the lorry in front of him. He's had a COVID-19 accident. Germany has now designated two Croatian regions, Sibenik Kanin and Split Dalmatia, as virus risk regions, and warned against travel there. Rivals in Germany for those areas will face mandatory tests for coronavirus. Tourist Shanin and Mass Kuritz are not very good at German. You have to bear with me. Oh my goodness. In Split told Reuters she had been less social distant than at home. We arrived here for 10 days. It's quite different here in Germany, like the masks. When you go to shopping, they don't take it seriously, I think, she said. UK and neighbouring Slovenia had also added Croatia, had recorded 255 new infections on Thursday to their quarantine list. Slovenia says it has recorded dozens of cases among people returning from Croatian party destinations. And the tests in the USA are lies. People sign up for tests and they come back with positive. Even yeah, I know what you're saying. I did think that as well. They come back with a test positive, even if it's negative. However, Croatia Interior Minister Deva Bosnjevic insisted that less than 1% of tourists got infected in Croatia, and said a ban on nightclubs open beyond midnight and probably be extended. Yeah, yeah, you might get called terrorist by the USA there, Alexander. Be careful. Now you're not really. You're fine. Everyone's allowed opinions. You're not being malicious. Some of what you're saying is pretty true. They are a bit OTT. And in Italy, Italy has also reported a sharp rise in infections with 845 new cases in its latest daily count. The number is not as high as some other European countries, but it is a rate of infection that has been seen there since late May. We're not in a bad position as France and Spain, but the current situation is not as satisfactory, said Professor Massimo Galli, head of infectious diseases at Milan's Sacco Hospital. The highest number of the cases were reported in Veneto with 159 cases and Lombardy with 154 in Italy's north, and in Rome, Lazio region with 115. The end of confinement has resulted in an excess feeling as a false security, Professor Galli added, quoted by La Repubblica newspaper. He also pointed out young people returning to summer holidays, citing an example of 9 people with coronavirus coming back from Croatia. I do not want to look like one blaming young people, Professor Galli said, but every day we receive reports of this type. Yeah, the respirators, I believe, because like I said before, people in Iran, Iraq, they wear they wear them what they called, well, the full face covering, and it's still COVID over there. They've all that all their life, part of their religion, and they're still getting COVID over there. So these respirator system things, are they? Our COVID masks ain't really. We're going to catch more COVID through that. We don't know. Douglas Ross, Scottish politics. Douglas Ross, Scottish Conservative leader, vows to stand up to PM. The new Scottish Conservative leader has insisted he will not be afraid to criticise Boris Johnson if he believes the Prime Minister is not acting in Scotland's best interest. I think Nicola Sturgeon does enough to impact on Boris Johnson. I think they've got quite a good business along that sort of, it was Scotland, and Nicola Sturgeon's got that side of things under control. Douglas Ross quit as Scotland Officer Minister in May over Dominic Cummings' trip to County Durham during lockdown. Oh, plenty of the nursing got the COVID and will had a little system still the second week, and it was like the flu, but worse cough. I did think one of the nurses getting more COVID, but you just don't find that happen. Mr. Ross said he did not believe his vaccination would damage the relationship with Downing Street, but he said the Scottish Tories were distinct from the UK party, and he added, if the Prime Minister got it wrong, I would tell him. Mr. Ross was speaking to BBC Scotland in a second or series of wide-ranging interviews with his Scottish party leaders. SNP has accused the Mayo MP of being Boris Johnson's man in Scotland since he was appointed party leader earlier this month, following his sudden resignation of Jackson Carlo. I mean, if you're under Boris Johnson, you know, you got if to be kind. If he makes a mistake as a prime minister, you need to put him straight, try and support him. So yeah, you do need to stand up to him. You do need to let him know, but be abrupt about it, no, because he's been in the game for a long time. He deserves a bit of respect. So yeah, I make you right there, Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross said the Prime Minister has phoned to congratulate him on winning the leadership within minutes. But he said that his position as Scottish Conservative leader did not mean he had a duty to defend the UK's government actions. Mr. Ross, who backed Boris Johnson's campaign to succeed Theresa May as Prime Minister, said, I will back the Prime Minister where I think it is right for Scotland. But if I think he has got something wrong, or where I think the government has got something wrong, I'll stand up and say it. I've shown people across Scotland that I think the Prime Minister has got it wrong, I tell them. It's a good thing to do. I mean, anyone trying to act, you want to be inside the chamber, you want to support the government. Let them know where they make mistakes. Mr. Ross will be drawn on whether he believes Mr. Johnson is help or hindrance to the party in Scotland because Mr. Johnson is not standing for an election to the Scottish Parliament next year. Oh, was that a nurse? They give a nurse a shot of the vaccine and it messed her up. No, it's good information. Or any information is good information. He added that the Scottish Conservatives are a distinct party for the UK party. We have different policies. We have different policies at latest election, and we have a range of policies going forward. Got a phone call. Hello, is that Dominic Cummings? Is that Dominic Cummings, sir? Is that Dominic Cummings? Oh mate, I'm coming. I was just on my Castbox, my YouTube. I have to cut that video short. I'll come now, mate. No problem. Since it, bye, mate. Sorry, ladies and gents. I've got some unusual business to attend. Dominic Cummings is at the door for. Yeah, thank you all for coming through. We appreciate it. Take care. God bless. I'll be back this evening. A short news article this morning.